the Mythbusters, Adam Savage,
3, 2, 1.
and Jamie Heineman.
We're just going to have to crash it to find out.
Between them, more than 30 years of special effects experience. Joining them, Tori Belleci,
Time to go diving.
Grant Imahara,
44 Magnum big.
and Carrie Byron. They don't just tell the myths, they put them to the test.
All right, Jamie, I'm going to paint you a picture. You've driven out to the middle of nowhere to go backwoods camping. You've hiked out into the wilderness, and at the end of the weekend, you hike back to your car to find, oh, you got a flat tire. What do?
I put on the spare.
You don't have a spare.
I call a tow truck.
Nope, no cell phone reception.
I walk out.
Nope, walking is not an option. You have to somehow make that flat tire into a workable wheel. What do?
I improvise.
Exactly. That's what this story is about. Improvised solutions to making a flat tire into a workable wheel in the wilderness.
Under normal circumstances, fixing a flat is simple. Unpack the jack, prepare the spare, and you're good to go. But if you're in the middle of nowhere and the spare's not there, can you improvise your way out? Can Mother Nature really come to the rescue? Or will this myth hit the hay?
So what's the plan?
Well, we got a whole bunch of suggestions from the fan site for things people claim to have tried that got them out of jams. I think we should choose the 3 best to test.
Well, what say we go to the great outdoors and set up a course then?
A course that would include all the different obstacles one might encounter trying to get themselves out of a jam.
Exactly.
So to put this tire trilogy to the test, the team heads for the hills.
In order to run our tire fixes through their paces, we've chosen a course in this off-road facility that'll give us the widest range of standard road hazards you might encounter in just this kind of setting.
And that setting isn't the only thing they've settled on.
This is our test car. It is an average, ordinary, everyday sedan, and that's the point. This story is about an ordinary car out for an ordinary drive when things go sour and an extraordinary solution is required.
With the car sorted and a 2-mile lap lined up, things are looking good.
Whoa!
So all they need now is to acquire a flat tire.
I have always wanted to do that. What are we gonna do? We got a flat tire. So here's the drill. You're out in nature, miles from the road, with a flat tire and no spare. Pop quiz, hotshot. What do?
What you do is improvise. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to make our equivalent of a run-flat tire out of stuff at hand, like vegetation or straw.
Yep, you heard right. Fan fix number 1 involves first removing the wheel,
I just happen to have a lovely garage jack.
then stuffing the cut-open tire with straw.
Now that's what I'm thinking.
Well, let's just see how far we get with that.
Before delivering a collection of bad puns.
I thought with the flat in the wilds, we'd be grasping at straws, but this is giving me high hopes.
Well, hey, if it works.
With Mark Twain turning in his grave, the guys reattach the wheel
Hey, that's not bad.
before stuffing in more straw until the tire is literally fit to burst.
Well, that's the last straw.
Now it's time for our straw-filled tire test. How do I think it's going to go? Well, I'm positive that having straw in this tire is going to be better than if we just had a normal flat tire. How long it actually lasts and whether the straw stays in there is the only worry that I have, and the only way to find that out is to test it.
Sensibly, Jamie starts slow.
How does it feel?
It feels a little spongy, but it seems like it's working.
But once they survive the speed bump
It bottomed out there.
and the pothole,
Well, that went fine, too.
Totally fine.
he's confident enough to speed up.
Through the puddle.
And by the time he's halfway round, you might say he's making hay while the sun shines.
Definitely a very reasonable escape plan so far. Let's go uphill.
Amazingly, the straw tire stands up to whatever stands in its way.
No problem.
We can make it home.
At least until Jamie tries to end with a bang.
Very, very well
done.
Whoa, it looks a little different.
I had high hopes for the hay, and my hopes were not misplaced. It performed fantastically. It went through the obstacle course pretty much without a hitch. You could feel it deteriorating. My feeling is you're using this to get out of a jam. Hay, in this case, would absolutely get you out of this jam. Very nicely done. Well, as a fix, I'm calling hay plausible.
Yeah, only a short-term one, though.
Agreed. What's next?
Well, I think nature may have some more surprises in store for us.
Since its creation thousands of years ago, the wheel has never really been improved. Until now, as Adam and Jamie reinvent it, testing mythical methods for fixing a flat. And with hay a success, what's next?
Next up, we're branching out to other solutions for a flat tire.
Yep, next up is surely a clutching at straws type solution.
Herb, I will try not to hurt you.
That's a lovely little ski there.
A branch forced under and then tied to the flat tire. It's not pretty, but fads have said that this really works.
If you want to move something heavy across the ground, you got a couple of basic choices, really. You can do it with a wheel, or you can do it with a sled. And what we've got here is a makeshift sled built out of a tree branch and some rope. It ought to work, at least for a while.
But will it last for a full lap of their course?
Go!
Well, to say it's a slow start would be an understatement. Eventually, Jamie does get a grip.
Yes! Yes!
But they're certainly not out of the woods yet.
All right, here we go. We're on the road.
Oh, don't slow down for anything.
After slipping and sliding their way through the first 200 yards of their lap,
Oh, the control's a little rough, huh?
Yeah.
they meet the first major obstacle, the speed bump,
Go, go, go!
which causes their car to come to a standstill.
Come on!
The lock came out.
No!
Yeah.
Ah, there's your problem.
It came out? Oh, it came out.
Yeah,
It abraded through all of the tie ropes up there close to the wheel.
that was pretty interesting, though, going down the road sideways. This track here pretty much tells the whole story. You can see the log's still in place, and then it hits this bump. It sort of digs in, gets yanked out of place, and from here on in, it's pretty much just momentum.
With the branch busted literally and metaphorically, it's on to the final forest fix.
You may see a couple of logs here. I see a tire.
Once Jamie's got the good wood, his next job is to make it as circular as he can.
Looks pretty round to me.
Before the guys jump cut their way through the rest of their final improvisation technique.
Wow. That is without a doubt the ugliest tire change I've ever seen.
If you saw somebody doing this on the side of the road,
You'd be like, can I help you in any way?
no, I think I'd just leave quickly. Will it work? I don't think I'd want to go very fast on this particular wheel, but it seems like it's pretty solid. I think it's going to be the best one yet.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
Roll along, little wheel. It's working good.
Remember, it's only the wheel that they've tinkered with. The suspension, brakes, and steering are all completely untouched.
Okay, here we go. Speed bump.
So, will the log help or hinder?
Oh, yeah. It made it.
That did fine.
Oh, it did totally perfectly.
It's certainly a case of so far, so good. But how will the potholes fare?
I'm nervous about the pothole. Wheel, back wheel's good.
Not a problem.
Not a problem.
With both the potholes and the puddles passed,
Oh, yeah. Way no problem.
it's not long before the Mythbusters come full circle.
Hey, it's beautiful. Well, with our first prototype fully tested, the Mythbusters Tire Company is ready to open its doors for business. This little baby worked magnificently on our course. It was, in fact, the best of all impromptu solutions that we have yet tried.
So, log wheel.
Totally confirmed.
Yep, let's go.
All right.
As the guys head on home, the Fixing a Flat myth is far from finished. Later, Adam and Jamie hit the town for more fabled fixes.
Check out your dubs, homie.
But next,
Do not try what you're about to see at home.
We're what you call experts.
in Fixin' a Flat, Adam and Jamie just hit pay dirt.
Don't slow down for anything.
And that's got them thinking.
Dude, I don't think we're done fixing flats.
What do you have in mind?
I would like to redo this test, but in an urban environment.
Go on.
Well, imagine you're in a city and you've got a flat tire. Calling a mechanic is totally not an option. But around you, you've got all the things you might find in a city. Metal, glass, and wood, and you've got to use those to improvise a working wheel.
I like it. Let's set it up.
Okay.
Well, at a rainy runway, it's time to find out.
Look at that! Our backward solution lasted all the way to the city.
Well, now it's time for some urban solutions.
Absolutely. While you may see a lovely view of San Francisco behind me through the fog, an empty runway, and 100 or so cones, I see an urban obstacle course in Potentia.
Adam and Jamie will each focus on their own urban fix. But first, they need to conjure up a cityscape crash course. And with everything set, the urban fixin' can commence, starting with Jamie.
Technically, there's nothing stopping you from rolling on a flat tire, other than sooner or later you're going to cut through it and you'll end up on the steel rim. So I figure, let's just try rolling on the steel rim.
It's a typically simple solution from the Heinemann that begins with him removing their logjam.
Well, that worked pretty well. Sort of.
And ends with him first wrenching a tire from its rim, and then attaching that rim to the wheelbase. Job done, in theory.
As far as riding in a steel rim is concerned, we've got a couple of things to be concerned about. And the first is balance. This steel rim is a lot smaller than a normal tire, and so it makes the car kind of lopsided. The other thing is that the steel is not going to grip the road as well as a rubber tire will, and so we've got traction issues. Whether either of these things turn out to be a problem as far as handling, that's what we're going to run the course to find out.
Steel rim, no tire. In 3, 2, 1.
As per Jamie's prediction, the terrible traction makes for a slow start.
Feel that acceleration.
Which means reaching the required speed
Come on, you gotta get to 40 miles an hour.
before braking ahead of the wall
Come on, almost there.
is seriously challenging.
Stop, stop. Yeah. Nice. All right, right turn.
But having not hit the wall,
Into the slalom.
Jamie scrapes towards the slalom,
Faster, you can do it faster than that. That's it. Yeah.
where despite trying to stay on track, he soon gets into a spin.
Oh, yes. Yes.
But after a quick recovery, all that's left is the parallel park, where slow and steady
You park like my grandmother.
puts Jamie's rim back on the road to success.
Nice.
Handling on the steel rim turned out to be not half bad. You just can't accelerate very fast, but I reckon you could go a fair distance on it.
Well, somewhere there's probably a law against leaving massive scratches in the road. But as far as getting yourself out of a jam, I'm thinking that the steel rim worked pretty great. I'd totally go with it.
With Jamie's rim firing on nearly all cylinders, can Adam's mythical fix do any better?
It's round. It's metal. I think it's perfect.
Without a mechanic to call or a genuine spare to prepare,
It's frickin' heavy.
Adam's adamant that this manhole is the perfect wheel stand-in.
Look at how well that size matches. I have a good feeling about the manhole cover.
Being almost identical in size to a real wheel, all Adam has to do is cut out some bolt holes and then bolt it on. But will it be better than Jamie's rim?
Now that's a tire.
Check out your dubs, homie.
What do you think of that?
I like it.
The manhole cover seems like it's a perfect fit, but the problem is it's only an inch wide, therefore it's not going to get traction. The other thing is that it's made out of cast iron, and that is inherently kind of brittle. So if this puppy hits some kind of a rock or a serious bump, we've got a big problem.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Cast iron manhole cover wheel and 3, 2, 1, go!
Despite a fire and brimstone start,
Oh yeah, burn it, yeah. Yo, you're really losing energy. Here we go, come on.
it's clear that this time the traction is actually less tragic as Adam gets up to speed
You're going 40.
and back with relative ease.
Yeah, the slalom.
Oh yeah, now we got it.
Because the manhole is such a good-sized fit, the car's balance is much better,
That actually corners fairly
Yeah,
well.
it does.
making its handling much less of a handful.
That's it. Come on, baby.
And when Adam messes up the parallel park,
Oh,
What was that you said about my parallel parking?
it's operator error
oh. Sorry.
rather than a manhole mishap.
And we're done. Check out this wheel. Ha! It's perfect. I abused the crap out of that thing, and there's not a thing wrong with it. I am really impressed with the manhole cover. I expected the one place I'd have a problem were with traction and the fact that it's cast iron, that it might actually crack when I was skidding to the side like in the slalom. Traction was a problem, but this thing held up to the most abuse I could throw at it in the slalom and came back for more.
I like the manhole cover. It's got style. It worked great. I'd say it's plausible.
Plausible it is, and you know what? It's given me some ideas.
All right.
Next on Flaming Real, the world.
Welcome back. Now, all this episode, we have been looking at innovative ways to replace one of your tires if yours goes flat or missing. And we've tried some backward fixes. Those worked out pretty good.
Backwards good.
Tried a single manhole cover as a replacement for a tire. We tried a straight rim as a replacement. And they worked pretty good, but we're not going to leave it there. No, actually, Jamie is interested in what it's like to drive in a car of all 4 rims. I'm interested in what it's like to drive in a car that has all 4 tires replaced by a manhole cover, so get ready for the race-off. You've heard of shirts versus skins? Now it's time for the whole covers versus the rims.
In the one-wheel deal,
Feel that acceleration.
there was little to separate their 2 urban fixes.
That's it. Come on, baby.
So now Jamie in his original car and Adam in a car of his own design
It's done.
are going head-to-head in a 4-wheel fix finale. The goal? To see whose urban solution is superior.
Shall we change these puppies out?
Yeah.
You like my paint job?
You know how I love a good flame pattern.
The plan is simple. I'm going to put 4 steel rims on my car. Adam's going to put 4 manhole covers on his car, and we're going to race. We'll just see who does better.
With a winner-takes-all course featuring slaloms, barriers, and bunting,
Oh, that's a proper speedway.
Adam's confident.
This contest is pretty simple. The low rider versus the knife rider. Slicing through the night. I think the outcome's going to be pretty simple, too. I think I, in the flaming car, am going to smoke the Hoosier.
But Jamie's the man with a plan.
Just like with rubber tires, these steel wheels will lose traction if they break free. So the key to success here is going to be for me to ride the accelerator so that I don't lose traction, but I actually do get up speed.
Jamie's right. This track race is all about traction.
Okay, rims versus manhole covers.
Whoever has more will take the title.
in 3, 2, 1.
And right from the word go,
Oh, he's way ahead of me. Come on.
Jamie takes a commanding lead,
Yeah, baby.
while Adam has just a fraction of the traction.
Oh, no.
And although Jamie doesn't have enough control to steer clear of the crash barrier, he is beating Adam hands down.
Well, that didn't go at all like I expected. Not only did I get no traction and couldn't get up to speed, but once I did, I had very little control, careened right into the water pyramid. And on the slalom, I'm spinning 367 20s. I have absolutely no traction with these manhole covers. No! No! As I'm doing this, I'm watching Jamie serenely, like the turtle from that cartoon, slow and steady, making his way unnervingly around all of the slalom cones. And then he goes through the finish line and insouciantly turns around and waits for me. Watches me spin out and slowly make my way all the way to the finish line 19 seconds later.
Well, Adam said he was going to smoke me, but I don't think so. I actually whooped him. I also was really surprised because I thought he had more traction than I did. Turns out he didn't.
Ain't that the truth? The manholes, impeded by their narrow nature, were next to useless.
The rims win.
What did we learn?
Well, I think throughout this whole episode we've learned that a flat tire does not necessarily incapacitate you. Pretty much every last thing we've tried worked to some degree, albeit slowly.
Just goes to show a little ingenuity will take you a long way.
It sure will. Let's get out of here.